My next guest is a good friend of mine, and he is the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar oil company in Africa. Kevin Okyere. What's up, man? How you feeling?
Feeling great, Steve. How you doing?
Good, man. For those who don't know, tell us exactly what you do.
I'm in the energy business. We are a privately owned African company. To explain for the average person to understand, what we do touches the lives of everyone. For example, if you're traveling, the road that you are on, there's some oil and gas, there's oil in there because bitumen is what is used to, put the road together. If you go to your house and you turn on water and the water is flowing, you need to understand that we are, the energy sector, we are providing the power needed for the water company to send the water to your home. So what we do basically just touches everyone's life, and we are excited to be able to, enhance lives.
Mr. Okyere, Akwaba to summertime, Afishafa. How you doing today?
Doing very good. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. And good panel you did up there. I learned a lot. Thank you.
You most welcome.
Now, last year, I had the pleasure of meeting you at Global Citizens Festival, and I learned a lot from you. I was intrigued that you stated that you create shoes for children because, I'm a child and I get intrigued by those things, and it's very helpful. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about your journey to becoming who you are today. Let's go into your childhood. What was it like, and can you walk us through a typical day?
I mean, I would say I had a very good childhood. I was blessed to have a mom and a mother and a father who were entrepreneurial and successful in their own rights. Mm-hmm. So I had a pretty good childhood. Traveling, vacation to the UK, doing summer times and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say I had a pretty decent childhood.
All right.
And it all, I think, helped build me as in who I am by just watching my parents, making their entrepreneurial moves. So yeah, so I had a decent childhood.
Have you always had a business mindset?
Now looking back, I think yes, I've always had a business mindset because I must have been about 10. Or 11 when I started. Yeah, probably 10 or even maybe 9. I don't know. When I started making some business moves by gathering the guys, the friends in the neighborhood and going to the stadium to sell water and stuff like that to make extra money. And I didn't know I was entrepreneurial until I grew up and realized that that was quite entrepreneurial because it wasn't normal to do that. I remember people in my neighborhood used to call me Eddie Murphy because coming to America was on at that time, and they were like, "Why are you doing this? Your father is successful. Why are you doing this?" So I didn't understand it was entrepreneurial, but yeah, I guess I've always had a little bit of entrepreneurial streak in me.
All right, so then we have something in common because I've always wanted to interview and become an entrepreneur, and I started this out when I was 10. So we got something in common here.
Yep, we sure do.
Now, what were some of your hardest moments in life, and how were you able to overcome them?
It's been a very difficult journey. You have to understand that at any phase in your life, you will have serious challenges. There have been times that it seemed like everything was just, going down the drain. Like there's been times I didn't even have money to buy gas in my car. Like I was driving the car, running the gas. I just didn't have money to buy gas. I knew the gauge was working okay. I just couldn't afford to buy gas. There's been times that, even to make payroll was a challenge. So even at that, when you become successful, you will still have challenges. Yes. No matter, I believe that no matter who it is, whether it's Facebook or Microsoft, whoever it is, you still have challenges. The most important part is you being able to get up and keep going and not let any of these challenges try and stop. You're going to have a lot of challenges. And as the saying goes, more money, more problems is really real because you have, bigger liabilities and stuff like that. So you have real problems. But yeah, you need to just keep going. Yes. Just keep walking. As Johnny Walker always says, just keep walking. Yeah. So I've had serious challenges, but I always find ways and means to overcome it, no matter how difficult it is.
A lot of people want to become rich and famous, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Would you say with great work, ethic, and passion, the money will automatically be byproduct?
So I always try to say this, and this is one thing that I want to point out. There's a lot of difference between fame and fortune. I think what we need to do is to focus on fortune. And, a very good friend told me this a long time ago, and it really helped me. He was like, Kevin, please focus on fortune and forget about fame. Now, if fame comes later on, that is fine. But you need to focus on, creating wealth and not being famous. I can tell there are a lot of famous people that are broke. So you don't want to be famous, being well known and stuff and be broke. You'll not be able to take care of your basic needs and wants. So I am more on the creating wealth, fortune mindset rather than, getting rich fast or getting famous or pretending to have something that you don't.
Now, you're in charge of an oil company and you make shoes for children. What inspired you to do both?
So I think what actually inspires me is being able to put a smile on someone that I don't know's face. So that's the inspiration, being able to touch other people's lives. Now, in order to be able to do that, you need to, have a successful business, which will enable you to have the tools that you need to empower other people. So the shoes kind of like keeps me going. It's not just shoes, we feed underprivileged children. We give them book bags, we give them books, we give them things they need to get to schools, uniforms, and all sorts of needs. And that is what actually gets me going. So I know that I need from here to get there. So that's what keeps us. That's what inspires me to do what I do, and I keep on doing more and more every day.
Before we leave, please share your motto and something positive and true for my viewers and translate it in English.
Someone that I know says something, which I'm going to say it, repeat it over here. He said, school and Papa Jimmy, it means that schooling or going to school doesn't wipe out stupidity. The only reason why I'm bringing this out is because I feel like sometimes people put limitations on themselves because they feel like they are not educated or they didn't get formal education. And I don't think, and sometimes people might have education, but they may not be, they might be street smart or whatever it is. So I don't think you need to put limitations on yourself either way, whether you went to school or whether you have the opportunity to go to school or not. So that's a saying that kind of like sticks with me.
And can you please share some words of motivation in Tree and translate it in English?
Words of motivation in Tree. Mm-hmm. In English? In Tree and in English?
Yes.
In English, I want to say never give up, and I'm trying to translate it in Tree for you. It means that the task or the job is very difficult. However, we're going to do it all. We're going to achieve it all, no matter how difficult the task is. So,
Medasi Pa for this interview. I enjoyed it. And thank you for actually sharing some words of motivation in Tree. I'll pick it up.
All right. Thank you.
And I'll learn it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are telling our stories. Until next time on Summertime.